Hello and welcome. I am the incredibly fine Phoenix, and I'll be leading you through my new Rimworld Let's Play. This is my first video I've ever done, so don't expect anything good. But I really don't know anything about making YouTube videos, so keep that in mind. We will start a new colony. If you don't know this game, it's called Rimworld. It's a colony-based building game that's really hard and it's really complicated and goes to the details, so this will be more of a teaching let's play, and I will teach some newer players how to build bases, manage raids and stuff, and I'll go to the details like managing stockpiles and that stuff. So let's get started. We'll choose a new colony and we're gonna start with this crash landed scenario. This is considered the easiest scenario in this game, so we'll pick this one for the start. Now we can choose our storyteller. This is Cassandra Classic. She is the most casual. She'll send occasional raids and bad events, but most of their events are friendly and possibly neutral. Then we have Phoebe Chillax. She will give a lot of time between raids and disasters, but the disasters will be big. And then we have Randy Random. This guy, he doesn't respect rules. He just does anything he wants. He'll send raids, like I happen to have 3 raids right after each other, so I died, that's what I'll tell you. So, for the sake of this let's play, I'll be choosing Randy, because I like him the most and I mostly never play with any other. And he's kind of my favorite guy. We're gonna pick Blood and Dust difficulty. That's the second from the middle here. You can see Strive to Survive. That's the golden middle. And we're gonna take reloading time, because if something went wrong and the recording crashes, I don't want you to get rid of some events. So we're gonna be choosing 100 coverage and a slightly larger population. I just like there being more settlements. And we're going to choose a random seed. I'll just slap down something. Cannibal, well, how appropriate. This doesn't seem to go well, but it's random and it's for the sake of the let's play. So I just want to say something, that I'm really just starting out and I want to help some smaller and new people coming to this game, because it's really complicated, and even I've been there myself, and it's really hard to find some of this stuff. Like, I need to constantly check Wikipedia for stuff I don't know, like surgeries and damage and whatnot. Well, just keep that in mind. This is our planet. It's really large, and you can see all these settlements here. I wanted to stay in somewhere that's a bit colder, but not like really cold, like you can see like up here, but there's a lot of enemy settlements and almost no friendly ones. So let's turn to the other side and check up here. Ooh, this doesn't look bad. There's one enemy tribe and one friendly faction. Those are like the industrial tech kind of guys. They don't have like spacer tech, but they have not bad weapons. And I would like some large hills or even mountainous. Oh yes, this looks pretty promising. You can see the growing period is 30 out of 60 days, which is not very bad. There's granite and limestone, two of the strongest materials in the game, and disease frequency is not that high as well, and it's mountainous, so there will be one side of the map covered with mountains and a lot of scattered hills around the map, so we'll pick this spot. Then we're going to character picking. You can see there is a lot of characters you can pick from, and you can also re-roll them, which will make their stats different and their age and stuff. Well, we need a really balanced team. As you can see, I think I saw, yeah, this girl. She is a psychopath, which is not bad. It's actually pretty good. Ascetic, which means she doesn't want a nice bedroom. She actually will be happy if she has a bad room. And she's a wimp, which means she'll go down from just a little pain. But her stats aren't that good, although if you want a researcher, he shouldn't have much more other jobs because he'll mostly do research. And this girl only has construction, medical, and intellect, also a bit of social and shooting. As you can see this little flame here, that's a passion. Normal, like these without one, are gonna be learned at 35% rate. And these ones are gonna be learned at 100% rate. There can also be two of them, which means it's 150 learn rate, which is really good if someone has it. Also, this guy here, Harry Tuttle, I think I'm spelling that right. He's a fast learner and he has a great memory, which is awesome. This combo is amazing. This makes him lose stats, like experience in there, a lot slower, and this will make him learn something with everything, like even these without a passion, like he would have a passion, and even stronger a little bit. So this guy is looking pretty reasonable for the colony. And then we can check other guys. You see Schnitzel, he's good at mining and crafting, but this isn't really good. This makes him have mental breakdowns constantly. This makes him work slower. This he will take half of the damage, but that's just not right, these two. And he also has a ambrosia addiction. Then we have other guys which are also pretty bad. Well, as you can see, this is the time we want to reroll. See, I click randomize and it's a different guy. This guy is a space marine. His name is Josequin, and he's incapable of fighting. He's firefighting, sorry. He's a body purist, misogynist, and tough, which is really good. But he has a bit of scars, so that's a bit of a problem. Although our team stats are not bad. Who has the plans? You have the plans, the one with great memory. Well, this is really good. So I think we've assembled our new team. I like to assemble the team by their shooting stat, so this one is in the front because he has the most shooting stat. This girl is a bit behind him because she has the second highest, and this guy is the last because he has the lowest of the shooting. But this guy has a passion in shooting, but the crash landed scenario you get a knife and armor, so this will be our melee guy. Well, Josephine, Risa, and Tuttle, they're ready to go. We press the start button and now the map's gonna generate. This will be a pretty long video because I'm gonna have to manage some of the stockpiles, and here you can see this is the starting text you can read. The three of you awaken in your cryptosleep sarcophagi to the sound of sirens and ripping metal. You barely get to the escape pod before the ship is torn apart. Sometime later, you land on this unknown Rimworld. As pieces of your shredded starship fall around you, you start making plans to survive. And here you can see our 3 colonists landing in a pod. Well, as you can see, there's the big mountain I called before. And this is the rest of the map. Pretty a lot of hills. And as you can see, we've already got some food and some building materials, which I'll have to enable or allow, it calls it in the game. Also, please forgive my bad English, because my main language isn't English, because in Czech Republic we don't speak English. But I'm pretty young and my English isn't that bad, so I just decided to make English videos, because Czech, not really people want to check there for Rimworld, so excuse my bad English, but we can allow. So we can see our 3 colonists. Also, it will jump them around a little bit, so I need to rearrange them like this, like this. So we have Miranda. It's a male and he's 51, so he's pretty old. And here you can see he has the most shooting stats, so I will give him this bolt action rifle, which is the best gun you start here. Then Risa, she's the 2nd best shooter, so I'll give her this revolver. And last but not least, Tal, he's the melee guy, so he will have to equip this plus steel knife, plus steel helmet. Also, one thing I want to point out, if you want to queue some priorities, if you hold shift and you click at the other thing and you go, the thing you want to do, he'll go after and do it. You have these, that's a flak pants, and the flak vest. This is a very good piece of armor. So as you can see, our people will go and take their weapons and armor. So now we have to choose a location where we want to settle, and I really want to settle up here, because you can see there is rich soil which makes plants grow faster. There is one entrance point. If we block off like this and make a hole down here, we can force them to go through here. We can have a kill box that will annihilate them. As well as you can see, there's a lot of wildlife on the map. You can see it's going from the biggest to smallest. You can see a mega sloth, that's this huge thing. And then lastly you see a squirrel, a little tiny squirrel. Well, this is an animatry, we don't really need to bother about that yet, or actually never, because we're not tribal. And let's get started. So this location looks like a good place for stockpile, so just make a stockpile zone, and I'll have to turn off food. I like to enable hay and kibble because that doesn't spoil. Then herbal medicine, that will spoil, and ambrosia, it spoils as well. Wort, it spoils, and plant matter, because that's mostly like psychoid leaves and that stuff. And that's it for the main stockpile. Then we're gonna dig into the mountain. I would like this as an entrance point because it looks pretty cool. So for now I will just make a little tiny stockpile up here, and I'll clear all, and I'll allow foods, not these because they go in here. Then I'll allow herbal medicine and ambrosia and wort and the plant matter. Plus here I will allow animal corpses, but not rotten, because when a manhunter pack comes for you, they'll most likely rot, and you don't want that in your freezer because it fills up space and it's pretty ugly. So yeah. Now I need to set up a dumping stockpile. This will be mostly for chunks and dead robots like mechanoids, centipedes, and pikemen, sires, and lancers. Those are the 4 mechanoids of this game. I can allow mechanoid corpses here. They don't rot, so I don't need to check anything here. And I will slap a dumping stockpile down here, so if they walk through they won't really see it. And this will allow, I'll clear all, this will only allow human-like corpses, and one more, so a tinier one, that will only allow animal corpses but no fresh ones, because fresh are going to the freezer and rotten are going down here. So if you don't want anything disgusting in your freezer, do this. You can also see these ship chunks that will yield 8 or 7 components and a little bit of steel. This is basically parts of the ship you landed in. So I'll just add it to the list of deconstructing things. Now, as we move on, I need to assign to their work. So, firefighting, why not? Patient, why not? We have 2 very good doctors. This guy who's tough, who has 9 medicine, and this girl who is wimp and has 11. This girl will need to stay out of injuries or she will just fall down, but both of them are gonna have maximum priority, so they take care of patients and injured people. Also, we've got 2 wardens. This one doesn't have a passion, and Mr. Tull has a passion. That means he's gonna make it quicker, or he's gonna learn it quicker. Plus, he's fast learner, so he'll just go straight through it. Wardening and social skill makes it so you can trade better and you can recruit people faster. Then we have handle, that's not really anything important. We have cooking, that's really important. You can see he doesn't have a passion, but he has fast learner, so he's gonna really quickly learn it. Construction, that goes to you. Growing, we only have 2, although you have a passion and you're fast learner, so you'll level that up really quickly. The more level he has, the more stuff he'll gather and the more faster he'll do it, and we can plan better plans later. I don't really understand this because crafting, tailoring and smithing is all in one skill, and this just goes to like 5 different priorities. I don't know why, but Tal will do it again because he has a double passion, so that means he'll learn it at a 250% rate, which is humongous. He'll just do it so quickly. We have hauling. If you hold shift and you click this thing up here, it will make all of them the same priority. Then we have Risa, she will do the research. I'll set it up to true too. Actually, yes, for now. I also need to allow this medicine. Well, that's it for now. I'll also make them a schedule, so they will just do some recreation in the morning. And Miranda, which is going to be our leader, I usually like to make them a psycaster because they have good shooting and they can really hold themselves off. So I'll just assign him to do meditating so he can replenish some psy focus, so he can do psycasting more frequently. Then I'll just set up work for all of them for the rest of the day. I'll clear one here. Oops, my hand slipped there. So 1 row of recreation. Then I'll just give them anything in the middle so they can just rest or something if they're really tired. This is not really important, although I like to create a new one. I usually call it a base. And I disable pemmican and packaged survival meals, because those don't rot. Pemmican does rot, but like 2 years, so it won't rot as soon as you think. And it's really good for traveling, because they won't spoil. Also set their medicine to herbal, because I don't want them to use the industrial tech medicine for now. Also set up a little interact policy. Every 2 days they can have a smoke leaf joint if they want to, but they need to have their mood below 20% and their recreation below 80, so they just don't go if they're full at mood and they just go on a smoking spree. This will make them only allowing to smoke once per 2 days, and 2 days is the range that makes it so they won't get an addiction, at least I think. Ambrosia and beer they can use all they want. It's just I don't really like this because it has a 1 day period and they usually take it like maybe twice a day. So yeah, that's a bit bad. Also, I like to select food restriction and make simple and disable pemmican. This is going to be for prisoners, so they don't eat our stuff. As you can see, we also spawned with a little doggo. His name is Sharky. It's a what is it? A Yorkshire Terrier. These ones are, in my opinion, really useless, because if they die, yes, you can see he's bonded to Josequin, which is Miranda, and he has a mood bonus from him. You see, Sharky's master. But if he dies or something happens to him, then he'll be really sad. And this guy can also nuzzle every 12 or so hours. You can see here, 12 hours. But other dogs can do it as well, and other dogs are really useful. So, also like to line up our base here. It's going to be a 9x9. This is going to be our main room where we're gonna have all the crafting, and for now even we're gonna sleep in it. And I think this is, oh yes, I almost forgot, growing zones. If you click this button on the bottom right, it will show you the fertility. This color, light green, means it's fertile enough to grow every plant, but at the normal speed. This one, for difference, is yellow. That means it will grow slower but still can support some of the crops. And the really darkish green means it will grow really fast, almost half as fast. I think it's 140%. Yeah, so I'll make a few small growing zones in this place just so we can plant something. As you can see, I want to not go into this because I don't like having a harvest late. So you can see, this is first one. This will be set for rice. Rice is a fast growing plant that yields small amount, but it's one of the best food crops you can get. Then we're gonna set up cotton plants. This is, actually wait, we're gonna set up corn plants. This is a long time growing, high yielding plant that gives corn, 11 corn per harvest I think, and it's not really bad at making the colony a food supply. But if you combine these two, then this one means you're gonna have a sustainable food source for now, and this means you're gonna get a big harvest for like 5 of these. I think it's 5 of these. Actually, corn plants yield 20. I mistaken that for a potato that yields 11. Well, I'll actually expand this zone because it's really small. And this will be cotton. This will grow material that we'll make cloth of, so We can build our own clothes. To shrink it. I like to have some symmetrical stuff in there. And we'll plant one more, not a large one, just a tiny one. And this will be for Smokey. This is I don't know if it's allowed, but it's a drug, and you can make some cigarettes out of it, actually joints, and if you're gonna smoke it, they will feel really good, but they will move slower and walk slower and do everything in general slower. And I think that's everything done for now. Also, I want to do a zone here, expand zone, and I'll make this so our dogs are not allowed here. And if you go into manage areas, you can invert this, and that means they won't go here, but they can go everywhere else. If I would just didn't invert it, that means he will only stay in here. But I will call it dogs, and I can assign it to her now. See, it's a male, actually, it's a him. Well, so you can go do your own stuff now. I'm just thinking if I didn't forget anything. I think it's good for now. Yes, so you can go. You see he's puking. That means that's because he has a crypto sleep sickness, because he was sleeping for a long time in the ship, so he's not feeling really great. As you can see, they're already hauling stuff, and our friend Tuttle is also planting our fields down here. He's doing it really slowly. You can see I have it on 3 times speed now, and he's chopping it really slowly. Where did Risa go? Oh, she's deconstructing these chunks I talked about earlier. Well, good job. Did you see that? Those are components. Those are used for building like machines. You can see down here, like wood-fired generator or wind turbines. Mostly everything that's made for energy and stuff. Also, I want you to forgive my bad audio, because this is as I already said, this is the first time I'm recording, and I don't really know how good the audio is. So let's hope it's not that bad as I think it is. And we are gonna see what happens. So they're hauling this stuff back, and you can see he botched the harvest. I think there was a berry bush over there. Also, yeah, he harvested. Also, we need to place down some sleeping spots so they can sleep. They can sleep just on the floor like anywhere, but this sleeping spot actually has comfort. If you see down here, comfort. See, he's uncomfortable. That means he's losing some mood. And when he sleeps, it will go to 50 like here. But he has to sleep on this. As you can see, she's meditating. She's doesn't have Psych Focus yet, but when she gets it, she'll have a little bar down here. I mean, it's gonna say Psych Focus. Also, you can see on the right, need recreation variety. That means they need something to play with. It's, for example, a horseshoe pin. You can just slap it down here. In the morning, Risa will go and build it. And she's pretty good at building, so she'll just go and build it really quickly. As you can see, she's a psychopath, so she doesn't get, like, if she's gonna get married, I think it works on that. She won't get the bonus from getting married or having a husband. And if someone close to her, you saw that she built it freaking quickly. She won't get a mood loss if someone close to her dies. You can see they're already friends. They're talking to each other pretty frequently because they're walking by him every now and then. I will need to build a wall here. I'll make it from steel if you didn't know, in this game steel burns, so be careful. I'll make 2 doors, and when they build it in, they'll start building a roof over it, and that means it won't deteriorate. You can see it's 60 out of 70 deteriorating because of unroofed and outdoors. See, now it's only outdoors because she's building a roof, and now it isn't deteriorating at all because there's roof all over it. You need to really watch out, especially for medicine, because that deteriorates 2 every day. Not this one. Herbal medicine deteriorates really quickly, 6 a day, I think. So this poor doggo doesn't have anything to eat. It's, for my opinion, pretty waste of time, because you can see there is amount of nutrition 0.08 out of 0.3. As you can see, let's say for example this meal has 0.9, which means he could eat 3 times out of that before it would consume it. But because this game is a bit weird, he will consume the whole thing. As you can see, there is our first event, and most likely the last event of today's video. We're at Thrombos. A small herd of Thrombos have wandered into the area. Peaceful by nature, these rare creatures are extremely dangerous when confronted. Some traders are willing to pay a lot of money for their precious leather and horn. Thrombos will leave the area in a few days. We can choose to jump into the location, and we'll jump here, right here, straight to them. As you can see, these majestic creatures are really big. For example, our colonist would be like this big. So these guys are really tall and really strong. As you can see, its body size is 4, which means it's 4 times bigger than a human. But it's really expensive. You can see market value of 4,000, which is a lot. But it also drops Trumbo fur, which is the best material in the game. I think it's the best material in the game. And it's really fast, which is really dangerous. But you can see here, revenge chance or harm, 100%. That means it will certainly attack you when you attack it. And if you know what you're doing, you can attack them, but not at this stage of the game. They will kick my butt cheeks. You can see he's getting really hungry really quickly. Normal colonists have 1.3, he's at 5.6. And as you can see down here, he eats trees, which is also pretty cool. But their melee DPS is really high because they can tear you apart. They also have some armor. But the coolest thing about them is their horn. It's a melee weapon, or you can sell it for, I think its price is 800. But the horn is a really good weapon for close range. Actually one of the best weapons, aside from the other 2. Other 3, the Mono Sword, Plasma Sword, and a Zeus Hammer. Those are space attack weapons for melee. You can see our dog is getting pretty hungry. I will let it starve for a little bit, and then I will give it some food, because I don't really want him eating my precious food. You can see, I didn't know this, but the Thrombos are under Mega Sloth, but trust me, the Thrombos are much stronger than my Mega Sloth. Mega Sloth, they're pretty cool. They only have a revenge chance of 10%, although they drop really strong leather and a lot of meat, so these are one of my favorite animals to kill when they're available. Also, they yield a lot of fur, which you can shear off them if you tame one of these. And they can also nuzzle, but not that frequently, only 2.5 days. Every 2.5 days. Which is really not a long time, although they're not really used for that. They're pretty much used for hauling and combat. You can also see a pack of rhinoceroses here. Don't really usually see them around these parts. Usually more in the arid shrublands like, or jungle like places. Up here I usually see them in a pack of 1 or 2. So it's pretty rare to see a big pack of these. Also, you can see these are runes. You can deconstruct them for some stuff. And I've also noticed it's a ruin in a ruin. You can see one of our colonists has a mental break risk, which means he can have a minor break risk. You can see this little thingy. If it goes below it, that means he has a chance of having a minor break. Minor breaks are not that concerning, although sometimes they can be really bad. If it goes down below this, a major break can occur. That's a slightly more dangerous one. And if it goes down here, an extreme one can happen. Extreme ones are extreme. I know it sounds really weird, but you don't want that. They can even just run off into the wild again, or they can just straight up give up and just leave your colony. And you don't want that if you have a good colonist. If you have a good colonist, try keeping their mood up as high as you can. It's just so they can get a mental break. You can see there are some chunks here. You see? She got a mental break, a food binge. She'll just do nothing and just eat much more than she should. You can see she's at 90% and she just ate another meal. This is a lot of food consuming here, but I think we can manage it. I'm just checking the map for some scarce resources, because this scenario has some. They're scattered around. You can see a dog, I think, a warg. Yeah, you can see it here. This is a very muscular and strong war dog. It's not really a war dog, it's a beast. You can see another event, a transport pod crash. A Navy Teach officer named Superbass, that's a pretty cool name for a Navy tech officer, is crashing in a transport pod nearby. If he survives the impact, he will be badly injured or wounded. Superbass is from your enemy, the Night Assassins. You can capture him for recruitment or slavery purposes. You can see he fell and he's right up on his legs because he had... This is pretty weird. The mental break, or not the mental break, the pain break is at 80%. And the games sometimes make it so he has 80%. But it can just go down just by a little bit and he'll just get up straight. But he's bleeding, which he won't suffer to, and he'll just leave the map. Well, that was a useless event for us. I think this is going to be everything for today's video. If you liked it, then like it. If you like my content, just subscribe, and I don't know anything else to say. And I'm really sorry for the audio if it sounds weird or something, but this is like my 10th try because I couldn't manage to get a quiet place to record. My mom was always calling at me. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you think about this, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye.